Deputy, is it Director General or Executive Director?
Deputy Director General, yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. For the Narcotics Control Commission. And thank you very much for speaking to us this morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. He has been spending a lot of time, and I've watched him on a few networks now, trying to address these issues that have been raised by Reverend Ntim Fodjour. Reverend Ntim Fodjour, who raised these issues. And like I said, we've spoken to you a couple of times on this. At this point, where are you with investigations?
Okay, so what I can say is that I know the National Security Coordinator is liaising with the needed agencies to take appropriate actions or to conduct the investigations. And I know there was a meeting yesterday, but I've not been briefed on it yet, so I can't speak directly to the issues as to where they've gotten to.
But also realize you've also been expressing concern about the lack of cooperation from Reverend Ntim Fodjour. So far, have you gotten any cooperation at all from him?
Nothing. I mean, he's just going around talking, but he has not given any of the agencies any information that can lead to anything, which is what I found irresponsible. Because I wish that being or as a ranking member of the Defense and Interior Committee, the reasonable thing to have done, if indeed you have picked some intelligence, once you have liaised with the appropriate agencies, give us the information that you have or the intel, so-called intel that you have, and we can follow up the intel and arrest where necessary. But what we keep having from him is he going around radio station to radio station or TV to TV or whatever you call it, and then giving out information in the air. The sad part is that, assuming you really want us to investigate and get these corporates arrested, the question is, do you think, having done this, fruitless exercise that you have taken, you think those people are still waiting for us to go and arrest them? Do you think they will still be lying on their beds waiting for us to come and arrest them? So it is just an unreasonable act that you did. Excuse my language, but that is the right way I can describe it.
I see.
Okay, that is not appropriate thing to have done.
But he keeps saying that he's not been invited.
It's not true. It's not true. He said already that even if you call me, you'll not come. He said it, didn't you? Yeah. And that is why I said yesterday that he is pushing us to the point that we are going to arrest him.
Arrest him for what exactly?
Oh, let's get there. When you get there, you definitely hear the reason why we have arrested him. Don't worry yourself.
Because
there are 1,001 offenses that you are not aware of.
Because at this point, he's been joined by his party, who are all engaged in saying that the new government, just turned 3 months old, that they've already started creating the environment for the trading in narcotics in Ghana.
It started under their time. It was in their time, 2022, that the British ambassador noted that Ghana is becoming a high place for narcotics. It was said in the year 2022, around June or so, or July. So it was not in our time. That is why it got to a point that they were even hiding cocaine issues that they were intercepting. They were not willing to let Ghanaians know how and where they were getting it from. That is what they were doing. They were covering it. We are exposing those who are involved in this illicit acts as a confirmation that we are in a position to expose them and then put them before the law. That's why you are hearing this. Since you took office, Senna, you've discussed or we've spoken about this. I think this is about the third or fourth time we are talking about cocaine issues. And it's all, the earlier conversations have all been on grounds that we have arrested 1 or 2 people that you are getting to know much about it. So that tells you that we are working. That is why we are exposing everything that we are doing to the general public. When you arrest, you let them know. When it's an intel, we don't tell Ghanaians. Because you are working with the intel to get some people, to get the corporates or those who are involved. But if it's not an intel, if it's an actual thing and someone has been arrested, those that we arrest, we put them in the news. You've heard of the Nigerian National. You've heard of the British National. Among others, the Central Region one that we arrested. You've heard it. We are not hiding anything. But the question that any reasonable person will ask is that, did those quantum of cocaine come into Ghana just 2 days ago or 3 days ago or yesterday? No. It tells you that they were here, even under their term. But now, they are finding ways and means to bring them out, and we are chasing them. Our interns are working so hard that we are arresting them. Those selling opioids and so on and so forth. We are getting them. Not less than a week ago, we dispatched a team from Accra to the west to one of the regions to go and arrest someone that our intel had that he was selling these opioids in a pharmacy shop or chemical shop or something. We went and picked the seller or the attendant alongside the shop owner and brought them to Accra to come and detain them. They are pending court. Okay? So we are not sleeping on our jobs. We are appointed to come and work. And that is exactly what we are doing or we are going to do. Nothing more, nothing less. If Ntim Fodjour or whoever person thinks that he has anything reasonable to let us know, bring it to the appropriate quarters. But if you decide to choose a different forum for your matters, you are just going to muddy your own waters.
Now, let's go back to, and of course, I realize that you are addressing the issue of them saying that you have not been transparent in terms of the busts and that you've not been putting out as much information as required in the public domain. But I realize you just addressed that. But let's go back to the issue of the 2 aircraft. Without the help of Ntim Fodjour and him providing the information that the evidence that he now claims he has, what have you found? Have you found anything untoward in terms of those aircrafts coming to Ghana and leaving?
No. There's nothing untoward. In fact, the day that even the search was conducted on the aircraft, I was there. There was nothing negative. Sorry, there was nothing positive. We use negative for where you don't find anything, but positive for where you find something. So there was nothing positive on the aircraft. We scanned it or we set it with our K9 dogs, which are the sniffing dogs. We took 2 that day to the tarmac. They went to conduct the search on the flight. Nothing was found. So the video and everything that my brother Felix showed Ghanaians were genuine. And you see, the reasonable thing is that if Ntim Fodjour seems to doubt every other person, that is no problem. I mean, you have the right to doubt. But where you are doubting, you prove the contrary. Or you provide the contrary. That, I even saw Daily Guide or whatever posting that the video that Felix posted or showed was staged. No problem. You are just saying that we don't have any work to do. So we can just gather people to go and stand somewhere and take videos of them. Because we are all sleeping in your house. We have nothing to do. If not that, you will not even say this. But let's even assume that whatever you said, even though it's very irresponsible, let's assume it's correct. Where is the contrary? To prove us wrong or to confirm that ours is staged and yours is not staged? Where is the opposite person? But before you condemn any such act, it means you have the original or the truthful one. That is why we can base on it to say that yours is not correct. I don't have a radio station. But I keep on telling someone that where you are sitting to operate is not a radio station. So where is the radio station? Doesn't make sense at all.
So you're still waiting for his evidence that contradicts what you've put out?
Of course. What's wrong? You said the video Felix showed is staged. No problem. Where is the original one? Where is the correct one? Or you are saying it's your wife in your house? What is this?
See, and I want to ask, in a matter like this, what's the difficulty? You've worked as a police officer, as a lawyer. Now you're at NACOC. What's the difficulty with investigating it? Because he is sure that you don't need him to do the investigation, and still establish that what he's saying is true.
Sorry, I didn't get your
He says what he's saying is true. That if you do a proper investigation, you find that he is right. What is the difficulty with this kind of investigation?
Senna, as you said, I was once a police officer. in police, when something happens, a first-hand information is picked from what we call a complainant. That information that you place from the complainant becomes the bedrock for every other work that you're going to do in the future. You base on that to invite persons involved or persons who can give corroborative statements to become your witness or whatever. In this case, where is the bedrock information that Ntim Fodjour is giving us? Where is the evidence? He's now showing us flight itinerary. Even if the flight was moving from planet Pluto to Mars or to Jupiter, do we care about that? We don't care. What we care is the money laundering and the cocaine that you are talking about. So direct us to that. Lead us to that. But now, you see, at this point, I'll plead with my brother Osman, the senior brother Osman, the National Security Coordinator. Please let arrest this man. Because if you don't strike on him, he will, they will tell you, he will take us for a ride.
The MPP says if you arrest him, then you'll be hunting a whistleblower. Now he is only blowing a whistle.
That's okay. This around, we just want to hunt. So it's fine. At least hunting brings something home. When you go for hunting, even if for anything, you can get some antelope or something and bring it home, right?
Yes.
So if you go for, you allow us to go for this hunting.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lawyer Alexander Chuberima, Deputy Director General, Narcotics Control Commission, join us on the line for our conversation this morning. Like I said, I've spoken to him a couple of times. It seems we're still where we are. What do you call it? Reverend says that, okay, let's